Hey YouTubers, I'm the Tailorette, and today I am at Joanns fabric store. I thought I'd just walk in and do a video and talk about the different fabrics that I like to use in there. So I have not asked them if I can actually video in their stores, so crossing my fingers and hoping that they're going to be okay with that. Okay, so I made it in and I actually got approval from the manager that I could actually do this video. So I thought I would start with the cottons over here first. Okay, so I'm starting with the So Classics. These are great basic cottons that I like to use for linings for my historical dresses, especially if it's last minute. They have lots of shades of colors of different blues and oranges and reds and yellows. These are a little bit cheaper than the other cottons that they have, which are Kona cottons, which I will talk about. The great thing about these is they are usually on sale for a good price, and you can use a coupon. Get it for about $3 a yard if you're using 50% off. And moving on to the Kona cottons, these are by Robert Kaufman. I do enjoy these fabrics because they are more expensive, but they are a higher quality. So if you're looking for something that's going to hold up a little bit better, you're going to go for the Kona cottons. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about this broadcloth. Joanns has a symphony broadcloth, and I do like the quality of it. However, if you're doing a project that has a lot of hand stitching, I would not recommend broadcloth because it's hard to get the needle in between there and it can hurt your fingers. So I've gotten a lot of sweaty fingers from using broadcloth. However, sometimes the broadcloth is the only material that has the right color that I'm looking for. It feels like a cotton, but it has a polyester blend. It's not 100% cotton, so when you wash it, it doesn't shrink, which is really nice. So these are batiks. These are a little bit near and dear to my heart because these are actually made in Indonesia. Because batiks, it's an Indonesian fabric. They are hand printed. There's a process, there's a video on it. It's hard to explain how it's done, but they are more of a tighter weave. So when you're stitching with it with your needle, you'll hear a popping on your needle. It's not because your needle is dull, it's because it's a very tight weave. It's not your typical cotton. So yeah, these are made in Indonesia, and I am part Indonesian. What I particularly like about the batiks is they have lots of lovely corals. And here Joanns has all their wall of prints organized by color, which makes me super happy. Sometimes I find some things in here. I don't buy all of my fabrics here because they don't have enough fabric for me to do several dresses in different sizes. Okay, so this is my favorite section in the store with their linens. They're 53% linen and the other percent is polyester. However, it acts very much like linen and it looks very legit in my opinion. So I use these for my 18th century dresses. I will use this for the outer shell, and then I'll use the inside as a cotton, and I'll wash the cotton just because cotton is cheaper than linen. This is the mustard linen I used for the 18th century costume. However, there are different types of linens. This one is 70% polyester, 30% rayon. It has more of a texture look to it, and it could look like linen. However, I did use this for a project once, and it did create pillaging or pilling, whatever you call it, on the fabric. So I would recommend using a higher percentage of linen if you're going to use something for a rain outlet or something. Recently this year, I made a wedding dress for a photo shoot, which I have not posted about. I need to do that. So how I came to the conclusion of making that dress was I actually came here because I wanted to make, I guess you kind of say it's kind of like a prototype type thing, just getting the different fabrics and feels. This is the material that I used for the base layer. What I really like about this one is that it has a shiny layer and a matte layer. So this is a satin taffeta, and it has more of a stability to it, so I made that for the base bodice and then the skirt. But I also wanted a flowy feel, but I wasn't going to do it with this material. And then what I did was I took this netting right here. This is more of a netting, and I did this for the first layer, and I did a lot of gathering on the outside layer. And then I took this lighter weight netting and put that on top, so it created a little bit of an angelic feel. But this is not like your typical tooling that you would use over in the next section, because this is a lot more lightweight and it creates more of a gentle look. Elegant for a wedding. It doesn't poof out as much, but it does give a little bit of a poof. And that's very in right now, and you can press it down too at the waist. That's what I did with the wedding dress. I pressed it down at the waist so that it wasn't floating as much. Going down notions and things, I actually don't use a lot of store-bought trim because I don't like how the store-bought trim looks when you put it on top of a custom-made dress. I like to make my own trims unless it's more like a natural material. So some things like maybe if it's, these ribbons are good if you're using like a white dress with a blue sash or something. I buy these online in bulk, but I do like to use cover buttons for my dresses. It gives it a more custom look, and there's different sizes. My general size that I like to go to is 5/8 for my Regency dresses, but for the Spencer jacket that I used, I think it was 7/8 inch, which is this size right here. And when I'm making a white dress that's lace, I'll use these pearl buttons. They just give it that lovely look. I don't do cover buttons for my lace dresses. It just doesn't look quite right. Everything that I buy for my dresses actually don't come from the store. I order them online. I'm just showing you in store what I use. If you're wanting to do just one dress, you could easily put together a dress from one store. But because I do in bulk, I have to buy several yards in a cheaper price, and buttons as well have to come in a cheaper price. I order them by like hundreds rather than just 20s. This is my one guilty pleasure, is different colored tape measures. I actually have my favorite coral color. Yikes! These are $1 each, so I'm going to purchase these delicious colors. I can't just walk out with these, so I'm going to go look for these and I'm going to get out and actually work on editing this video. And as you can see, I do not buy a lot of my fabrics from my local store just because I'm a business and that would not be a smart move. However, you can definitely put together a historical dress from a local fabric store such as Joanns if you are looking for a day dress or something. However, if you are looking for something a little bit more period correct, I would recommend you might want to go look online at some materials or some real silks. I would definitely go online for that sort of thing. So that concludes this video, and excuse the bad sound in this video because my mic actually broke because my camera fell on the floor. So thank you for watching, and please stay tuned because I have another video coming out this week on Friday. So I will see you at the end of this week. Hopefully that car doesn't park next to me. There's somebody watching me from the parking lot. This is really awkward. Okay.